Hey, it's Marty the Pasta Guy from PastaGuy.com. It's a little brand name change from last week, my first video. And after all that, I'm not going to show you how to make pasta. But this is one of my best. I'm going to show you how to make an Italian vegetarian omelet that is well worth your time. I've never served it to anyone who didn't love it. It's more of a lunch, dinner entree than it is a breakfast item, and this recipe will be for 2 people. Here's the ingredients. Extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, red pepper flakes, pinoles, pine nuts, spinach, mushrooms. I'm using the portobellos because I like them. They're very meaty and hearty. You can use whatever you want, but I would say stay away from chewy mushrooms. I've got 5 eggs. It's for 2 people. You know how much you want to eat, and I'm using 5 eggs. And we're going to use some fresh Pecorino Romano. Buy the good stuff. Fresh is great because if it's been sitting in your fridge and it's a little dried out, it's going to dry out the egg mixture, and that's not good. That's the exact opposite of what we're really looking for in this dish. Sauce. If you haven't seen my marinara recipe, then please take a look at that. It's a fast, simple, quick sauce that is really good and exceptionally good in this dish because it's very fruity. And if you have to use some kind of store-bought sauce, then I gotta wash my hands of this. I can't, good luck. But if you do this with my ingredients and my sauce, I know it's gonna turn out well as long as you don't overcook the eggs. It's gonna be excellent. So I'm excited about this. Let's get going. And with this, that's probably good enough. I've got 5 eggs I'm going to scramble. I'm going to put a half a cup of Romano in and put it in gradually or it'll make a mess. Going to put some pepper. Benito, my salt and pepper holder, is really just for show. I shouldn't have chosen to use this. Look at this, killing me. A little bit of salt. Not a whole lot because the cheese has salt in it. Use good quality eggs. These organic ones I buy have a little flyer in them that tells you about the hens, and that's a little over the top. You don't need a 23andMe on your eggs, but pasture raised is the most important thing, and you do taste a difference. And there it is. I'm using a 12-inch skillet. Put a liberal amount of olive oil in it, and we're going to get our pine nuts toasted first. Even if they're pre-toasted, we're going to toast them again. And once we put our egg mixture in, the pine nuts will be pushed to the edge of the pan, so as long as you don't have your heat too high, you'll have time to mix them into the eggs and distribute them, but do it quickly. This process is going to require low to medium heat and some patience. In a separate pan, let's saute our mushrooms. I'm using 3 large portobellos. You may have to add more oil as you go because they do soak it up. Once they're almost all the way done, add the spinach because it won't take long from this point on. Salt, black pepper, and red pepper flakes are the only spices you'll need for this. I'm warming 2 cups of sauce, but if you have less than that, add a little water or chicken stock to it because to a certain extent the eggs will soak it up. You can turn the stove off before we flip the eggs. The easiest way to do that is to cut it in half, which is what you have to do anyway to serve it, and then flip each side separately. That way it's very manageable. It's hard to cook and shoot video, so if yours turns out a little too brown like this, the sauce will make up for it and everyone will still love it. Another way is get a couple of spatulas and flip the whole thing. If it tears, not a big deal, just put it back together again. It'll look fine on the plate. And the third way is not to flip it at all. You can let it cook more on the underside until it's done on top. This requires a cover and slow cooking because you run the danger of burning it underneath and drying it out. After flipping it, immediately add the ingredients. No matter how you cook the sauce, make sure it's piping hot before you ladle it on. Also, add sauce to the top of it and then sprinkle with Romano cheese. Chop fresh basil on top of that, even makes it prettier. As I said, just cook the eggs slowly. You don't want them to get too dry. This is a big win for everybody. Believe me, you're going to feel indebted. You're going to say, Marty, what can I do for you? I feel like I owe you now. I've got the answer. Check out my other stuff and subscribe. I need subscribers. Thanks a lot.